Well, good evening. Welcome to the Wraparound. I am your host, Michael Arrow. That's right. I am in for Pat Bernard tonight. Um, so we are here. I am guest hosting the Wraparound, and I am ecstatic to be here tonight with you guys. Happy 4th of July. Hopefully, you got all your burgers down and all your hot dogs and everything else that you guys were chowing down on, as it is America's 249th birthday. So happy birthday, America. Uh, Speaking of America, we have to talk about our team in America's national pastime. Today, they kind of took it on the chin to the Cincinnati Reds, 9-6, and Jesus Luzardo, God, was he awful today. Only 2 innings between him and Joe Ross. Basically gave up the 9 runs to this Cincinnati team over 4 innings. I will give a lot of credit to the Phillies back end from Tanner Banks on in this game today. They really kind of showed out, came in and kind of shut the Reds down and gave the Phillies ample opportunity to come back in this game. Alec Bohm, again, strikes out with the bases loaded and, again, showing his immaturity as he slams the bat down. It was a clear strike. I mean, you know, sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the pitcher, and not react the way that Alec Bohm did. And I think that's getting kind of old here, as they say. So the Phillies go down today to those uh, Cincinnati Reds. But I'll tell you what, I mean, there were some people today who had some really, really good games, going into today. And, one of them was Nick Castellanos, which, by the way, we're going to get into that because, there was something that happened at the end of that game where Castellanos was jawing with the fans and or jawing with a fan. Um, basically today you had guys each having 2 hits today. JT Realmuto had 2 hits. He was 2 for 5. Alec Bohm was 1 for 4 with a run batted in early on. Bryce Harper was 2 for 4 with a walk. Kyle Schwarber was 2 for 5, and also Trey Turner was 2 for 5. With the top 3 guys in the lineup actually getting scoring runs. So there you have it. Imundo Sosa today was 1 for 2, as well as Brandon Marsh was also 1 for 2. Johan Rojas coming in, or Johan Rojas got to start with the lefty being on the mound. He was also 1 for 2. Bryson Stott had 2 at-bats, nothing. Otto Kemp took a 1 for 5 today. Although I will say this, he did hit the ball kind of hard, but it was pretty brutal in this game today. So, guys, if you do hear fireworks going off behind me, I do apologize. It is the 4th of July. There will be a lot of fireworks going off. I'll tell you what, though, in this game today, with the Phillies actually losing right now, the Mets actually beat the Yankees earlier today. So, this lead is down to a half a game for the Phillies right now. The Dodgers are leading the way in this. Dodgers are leading the way in the National League right now with 56 wins. They got 5 more wins than the Phillies. Phillies actually fall 2 games behind the Cubbies right now for that second division winning right now, because the Cubbies have also won a couple straight here, and they are sitting at 53 and 35. And, guys, listen, we literally got about a week or 2 before the All-Star game. So, I mean, this Philly schedule right now, if you're looking at it coming up, I mean, they got some pretty good opponents, I guess, coming up here in the month of July. They finished their homestand this weekend with the Reds, and if they can take another series, that would be great. But then it's off to a West Coast string, and the one place they do not play well is in San Francisco against those Giants. And I'll tell you what, they got 3 with the Giants. I'm going to try to move this along here, guys. They have 3 with the Giants, and I'm trying to look at their schedule. Yeah, 3 with the Giants, 3 with the Padres, and then 3 games with the Angels. So, I mean, they have a nice little West Coast trip coming up here, where it's going to say a lot about them, because they're going to be playing, you know, 2 out of the 3 teams are pretty good. The Angels aren't really that good, but they do have our former catcher, Logan O'Hoppe, so I'm pretty sure Matty B will be interested to see those guys. And basically, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're looking at the whole up until July 27th, even if they come back from this road trip, they have a home, they have a home series for 3 games, and then they go on the road for 3 games, but it's the Red Sox and the Yankees before the Phillies head to the Windy City on their next road trip, which basically, if you take them up to, they have 3 in Chicago after that, that will take them, that will finish out July. So, I mean, if you're looking at it right now, they have, like I said, they got the Reds, Giants, Padres, Angels, Red Sox, Yankees, White Sox. So that's a pretty damn hefty, pretty hefty scheduling for the month of July. Just looking at a couple of their, their August schedule as I'm kind of peering over it, doesn't look too bad. They do get the Mets in Flushing for a 3-game set at the end of August. Same thing with the Braves. Braves actually come back to town for a 3-game set, and then the Phillies literally they enter September, man, and their September looks kind of brutal to start off with. They got the Mets, Marlins, or I'm sorry, they got the Brewers, Marlins, and Mets, and a back-to-back series, and then our Royals come to town for 3, and then the Phillies hit the West Coast again, and then this time they play the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks before they come back home and finish with the Marlins and the Twins. So, I mean, this is going to be a hell of a rest of the year to go, man. And they're saying the Angel series is in Philly. So that must be Matty B checking in here. Let me go back over and take a look at that. Oh, yes, it is in Philly. I'm sorry. So they have, but our boy Dave Yarnell checking in. It says, Boom acting like a little brat when he struck out. Not good. Dave, I agree with you. I'm sick of his little, these little outbursts and temper tantrums. It was a good pitch. That right there, you have to hit that ball. Okay. And, today, I didn't like what I saw from Jesus Luzardo. And to be honest with you, this guy's been mediocre. So it's been crazy the way this guy's season has kind of turned topsy-turvy. He gets a couple good starts, and then he has a few bad starts. I'm really starting to wonder now if the lack of a bullpen is really kind of starting to creep up with him. Joe Ross needs to be DFA'd. I'm sorry. I am tired of what I'm seeing with Joe Ross. Joe Ross is and I kind of like to sign him because I saw what Joe Ross did in the past, but obviously either one, he's still working his way back from that injury that he had last year, and he's just not right. He needs to be DFA'd. He really does. But guys, just to let you know, we are going to talk some Phillies, but I also got some Eagles going on in here too. A lot of rumors swirling around the birds. So we're going to go and find out, some of these rumors, there's some pretty top-notch free agents and pretty decent players from other teams that the Eagles have been linked to for, trade candidates. And there's a couple free agents. Justin Simmons, to me, is the one that I'm watching because it seems like that deal's going to get done. I don't know why, but it's just I really do feel like Justin Simmons is going to be coming to the Eagles this year. I believe he wants to get back in, and I think he wants to reunite with Vic Fangio. It's a wrap. Sports. It's got to be Matty B. Says the Angel series is in Philly, which you are 1,000% right. I got the schedule up looking, and I just didn't look at it. Joe Hale checking it, says happy 4th of July. Joe, right back at you, buddy. Happy 4th. Happy 4th to every one of you guys. Thank you guys for coming on this Friday night, this holiday, to spend it with yours truly. I'm pretty sure the Gobbler is doing his best at what he does, and he's probably still eating barbecue. So make sure I can't wait to talk it over with him on Sunday morning, guys. Al Safiri checking in, and Al did a great job. Al, that must have been a very tough Must have been a very tough post game to do after watching that. Again, Phillies had their chances today, man. Alec Bohm cannot stand there and look at strike three. You hit Alec. This is what bothers me about Bohm, and I'm sorry to say this, but he's an opposite field hitter. That ball was on the outer half of the plate. You got to swing at that. I'm sorry, you have to put that ball in play. You can't just sit around and sit there and freeze up. And they got to get a fourth batter. They got to get a cleanup hitter in here because I don't feel Castellanos has proven he's a fourth, a cleanup hitter in here. I will say this: if JT Realmuto keeps his hitting going, I would not be surprised if the Phillies moved him up to the cleanup spot to get behind Harper because Harper has no protection. And the thing about it is, if they're playing against a left-hander, they're not going to move Bryson Stott up. I would love for them to move Bryson Stott up to number 2 and kind of drop Bohm in the lineup. Like if Bohm's going to be this indifferent, he's not a difference maker. Yeah, he had an RBI today, he had a hit, but when it matters for him to come through, he's not clutch. I can't remember a time where he's been clutch, other than in the St. Louis playoff series when he got hit by a pitch. It's the last time that I can remember that he was kind of clutch and he kind of just got in the way of a pitch. So, but I'm waiting to see now what happens, man. I really am. Let me get back to some of these comments over here. Star Wars saying the Phillies need to do better. And guys, too, I want to know what you're thinking about the moves the Phillies are going to make. Who are they looking to bring in? I'm hearing about the 2 guys out in Pittsburgh. Their names are, I just seen it. The 2 pitchers that are coming out of Pittsburgh. The Phil, and this is a leak or a leaked out of Pittsburgh, so that they would be going for them. So that's why I'm really interested to see where they do, where they go. Like where they come out of, and if they get these 2 pitchers, I'm looking to see where they go with it. And I do have the pictures. Oh, here they are right here. David Bednar and setup man Dennis Santana. Feeling as Philly could want both in a deal. And, what are your impressions of them? Like, what would you do that? I think I would. I would go do that. And hopefully you don't have to give up much talent. You tell them that, you would give up a guy like Mick Abel in that deal. You know what I mean? Because to me, I think Abel had a shot, and he got sent down today, and it was kind of disappointing, man. It kind of really, really disappointing for me. Ryan Swope checking this is happy 4th. Good evening, buddy. Star Wars, yes, I just relaxed all day, man. I sat around, watched some baseball today, and I had a great one. So hopefully your 4th of July was as good as mine. Again, Ryan, happy 4th of July to you too. He says actor Michael Madsen, best known as his role as Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill, and his voice work in Grand Theft Auto 3 has died. Oh, wow. Man. It says Matty B got his ticks to see Logan O'Hoppe. I bet he did. Ryan said CD or book collection. It's a CD collection. Books. Do I look like I read books? If it doesn't have Playboy written on the front of it, I'm not reading it. Star Wars saying happy birthday, USA. Linda, check it in. Long time. Oh, man. Linda, good to hear from you. Happy 4th to you guys and to the little one as well. Ryan says, most likely CD record with those speakers. Yeah, the best part about it is, Ryan, it's a virtual background. It's not even, look, if you see, look, I'm actually waving in front of it. There is nothing behind it. It's actually a visual, but it's good. But if it was my style of music, it would definitely be a little bit of everything. It'd be a smorgasbord. Some hip hop, some R&B, heavy metal, death metal. Like there would be a smorgasbord in here. So that would be it. He says, why hasn't he been all last year? He was great with running and scoring. I don't know. I don't know. Bohm is in here, man. Like this dude to me is just, and it mind boggles me. And I want to know why Rob Thompson keeps sticking him in high pressure situations. I feel like Alec Bohm does well when he's down in the lineup. He starts to hit, and then for some odd reason, Rob Thompson wants to just shoot him right back up to the top of the lineup. Leave him at the bottom of the lineup. Put him sixth or seventh, and move everybody else up. You know what I mean? Kind of leapfrog JT and Castellanos. I wouldn't mind seeing them giving JT a shot at number 2. For right now, he's starting to come on. He's starting to hit, put the ball in play. He had a nice double today. Excuse me. So I would love to see him do that, man. I really, truly would. Al saying, why isn't Bowman in the number 2 spot and Schwarber in the number 4 spot? Al, your guess is as good as mine with that one. I mean, really. So this is Walker's going to start Tuesday. Yes, I saw he's going to start. And there's Ryan bailing me out there, Bedard and Santana. Santana's been all over. Yeah, that's all right, though. Sometimes you just need to change the scenery with that. So they said, how did Kemp do and left today? He did all right. He had a couple scary moments. He actually went back for a ball and then had to run in and dive for it. But, to sit here, he did okay. He did okay. He was serviceable there. I thought he got robbed on quite a few hits today. That few swings to the bat. The wind would have been blowing out just slightly. A slight wind today. I don't Kemp would probably have had a couple home runs today. He hit the ball hard, but it was just right at somebody. Santana waiver claim pickup a lot in the past, I believe. You may be right, Ryan. I do not know. Pirates are not letting Gardner go. He's the closer. I'm not seeing that happen. Dave, listen, it's the Pirates. The Pirates let everybody go. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, if the Phillies put up a decent package to get both of them out, and this report's coming out of Pittsburgh. It's not coming out of Philly. This is coming out of Pittsburgh that the Phillies are on the phone about both of those guys. And the Phillies have talent to bring these two guys in. So, I don't want to. Everybody on the Pirates is available right now. Everybody. That ownership out there don't want to pay anybody. So, saying that you may not see it happening, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't happen. Again, it's just reports. You're going to keep hearing about everybody and their brother moving. Hey, stranger. Yeah, I hear you, Linda. I hear you. But I'm really dead set on the Phillies going out and getting another bullpen arm. They got to go get another bullpen arm. They got to DFA Joe Ross. All right, the experiment, we gave him a try, let him go. And I'm sorry, all these people keep saying, oh, you need to get rid of Max Kepler. Shut up. Just shut up. The guy's coming off a real crazy injury that he had last year. I'm telling you, just stop. The guy can play. He was he did really, really good. Star was saying 249. That's right. The only reason how I know this is because I was born in 1976. So every time he gets up there, so y'all know how much now you know how old I am, and next year's my big 50. So yeah, I hear you on that one, Star Wars. He's from he's from Pittsburgh too. Well, hey, listen, if he gets traded, he's only got to drive 4.5 hours to the other side of the state. It's really interesting to see though, as far as some of these rumors that have been linked to the Phillies, with I think it's Finnegan from Washington. He was their closer at one point in time. Now he's like 7th, 8th inning guy for the Nats. Phillies have been linked to him. They've been linked to Byron Buxom out of Minnesota to come in. He's a right-handed power bat. Again, he's another guy that's coming off an injury. didn't have a really good year last year for them. So I'm really going to have to wait and see what's going on with those guys. And speaking of the Phillies, tomorrow night, Pat Bernard uh, will be taking the Fightins final. That's right. You can go check out my broadcast partner. He should be on tomorrow night after the game, or tomorrow afternoon. I believe it's an afternoon game tomorrow. Again, I think it's later in the afternoon, but I think it's an afternoon game tomorrow against those Cincinnati Reds. And of course, Matty B will have you covered on Sunday. And don't forget to look out for his Down on the Farm. I think it's one of the best things that Matty does. He gives you insight on what's going to happen tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, on Sunday. He gives you the best insight on some of the guys that are coming up that they are talking about down in the Phil's minor league system. So make sure you get over there again. Again, tomorrow is a 4:05 start time. So make sure you guys check out for that. These guys will have the scheduling coming up for future games and who will be covering what. So, but I want to see. He says, "How many games can the Eagles win this year?" You know what, Star Wars. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to finish up. We're going. Are we going to have a Super Bowl hangover? I don't believe so. I don't believe the Eagles are going to have a Super Bowl hangover. But again, guys, like I said, coming up tomorrow, 4:05 for that game tomorrow. So Pat should be on roughly around 7:30ish. Today's game was an awful long time. The thing that killed me was somebody I seen on TikTok, the over-under for the Phillies Reds game was like 11. Like 11 and a half, and they flew by that. So that was kind of crazy to see that. So again, guys, right now we're going to pay the bills, which are Matty B's pocket. So, but here you go, guys. Make sure you tune in to the final word with Matty B Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. So Matty will be back on it. He'll be doing double duty on Sunday. He'll be coming in and he'll be getting you right, talking about that Phillies game, looking ahead to what's going on in the world of Philly sports. That is every Sunday through Thursday right here on It's a Wrap at 10:30 or 10 p.m. I'm sorry. I keep saying that's just this show. Again, Pat Bernard and Steve Fuentes, they will have you covered with MLS soccer and the Philadelphia Union. They will be here every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. So make sure you guys tune into that. Of course, Fridays, it's usually Pat. It says Sundays there. This is an old one. Every Friday night at 10:30. Make sure you're here for the wraparound for that. And of course, Sundays, your Sundays will never be the same. That's right, me and Pat and Al. That's right, P&M in the AM. Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. We will get you ready for the work week, and your Sundays will never be the same. So all the shenanigans and everything else that we will be doing on there. All right, guys. Now we're going to break into some rumors with this Philadelphia Eagles. Excuse me. There's been crazy rumors with this Eagles team. I want to say over the last week or so. The first one being the Eagles are trying to go after TJ Watt. To go after TJ Watt, you would have to trade for him. And I'm not giving up Nolan Smith for TJ Watt. That's just making the Pittsburgh Steelers better. That's going to make them younger. They're going to get a guy like Smith who's going to come in and, help rejuvenate that defense, where I like TJ Watt, but he's on the way down in his career. And this would only be a 1-year rental thing. Like, he's got 1 year left on his deal. He's going to hit free agency. So the fact that I heard Nolan Smith for him, if I'm the Eagles, I'd hang up on him. I'd tell them I'll offer you a 4th-round pick for him right here, right now. You're not getting nothing more. He's on the final year of his contract. We're only bringing them in. You know, we have our starters. Um, a lot of people are forgetting that they did go out and sign Josh Uche um, to this team, and I think that guy's going to have a decent, not a decent. I think he's going to have a really good year for the Eagles. Um, I really do. I think Aziz Ojolari. I think he's going to have a good year for this Eagles team. I don't think this Eagles team's going to have a Super Bowl hangover. And the reason I say that is I looked at the offseason that the 2017 team had. And then you look at this offseason. You look at this offseason, and there's no celebrating. Like, I remember they had a big old party for them getting their ceremony for their world championship rings. The coach went out and wrote a book. Um, Players were still living it up as of going into the next training camp. The one thing I will say, Sirianni was just like, all right, this is done. Now we got to move forward. Big difference from being the hunters to being the hunted. And I got to agree. I have to agree. I like what I'm seeing from this Eagles team. This Eagles team is like the first thing that really kind of caught my mind or caught my eye was the interview that AJ Brown and Devontae Smith did when they said, "Yeah, we won the Super Bowl," and we were like, "That's it. I'm going to do it again." Like winning one wasn't sufficient for those guys. They want to win multiple championships. Jalen Hurts keeps getting knocked. Okay, and I think it's funny. Like you see the video, it's been posted all over social media where he's walking into the Super Bowl and he looks up at the screen and every last person's taking the Kansas City Chiefs. He just looks, smiles, nods his head, and keeps walking. Then he goes out and he destroys them. And I see these TikToks and other views from other fan bases. And I will say this, I know we open with the Cowboys, and I'm kind of glad because that's the game I wanted. I wanted the Eagles to drop that banner with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott in the building. I do. To me, that's our main rival. We're not their main rival. Washington's their main rival, but they're our main rival. I think it's them. I mean, to be honest with you, you can go Philly, Washington, Philly, New York, Washington, New York in that trio. Like we all dislike one another. I think with the Eagles and Commanders, there's kind of been or slash ex Redskins. As an Eagles fan, you knew those games were going to be rough, but there was kind of a respect factor between the two fan bases. Um, you know, but there's no love lost for the Giants, no love lost for the Cowboys, and I wanted them to. I want Jerry Jones to sit in a box at the link when Jeffrey Lurie drops his second one. I know Dallas has 5, but Jerry Jones only has 3. Remember that. Jerry Jones only has 3. He's got 92, 93, and 95. So if Jeffrey Lurie wins one more, he has just as many Super Bowls as Jerry Jones. The other 2 Super Bowls were won in the 70s before he even owned the team. So Jerry don't have 5. And that's what I kind of tell some of these Cowboy fans. Yeah, you got some Cowboy fans that are smart as a whip, dude, and know their stuff. But I just love the fact that they're looking at this and they're going, the Eagles ain't the same team. No, they're not. They're not the same team. Offensively, they are. Defensively, they've changed a little bit. Yeah, they've gotten younger. And they've got ballers that are playing. This is what I mean. How we found the NFC. He found the SEC. He found the SEC. And he started taking them Bulldogs. Now these Bulldogs are all playing together. Think about that for a second. Them boys won back-to-back national championships. Within 2 years in the NFL, they've won a Super Bowl. Think about that for a second. And you know what? They're still hungry. They're still hungry, man. 11 more for 100 subs on this network. Guys, if you are following this on YouTube, click that like, click that share, and click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost nothing. It's free. So, and you get really good content for Philly sports. So make sure you guys click that. Thank you, Star Wars. Get the word out there. But yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm sorry, like I don't feel like Dallas addressed a lot of things in this offseason. They did do the right thing. They went and got CeeDee Lamb some help with George Pickens. They do. And I do think Dallas is a playoff team this year. And before y'all start calling me a turncoat or whatever, I think 3 teams from the East get in this year. I think the Eagles get in. I think Washington gets in, and I think Dallas gets in. I think Dallas is going to start off slow. I really do. Like, I don't want to hear, like, if anybody thinks the Cowboys are going to start off running, like coming out the gate hot and running, you're nuts. Okay? Yes, they have Shanahan's now their head coach. Or not Shanahan. Yeah. Was it Shanahan? No, not Shanahan. Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer's their coach. You all got to remember, too, Schottenheimer was running Mike McCarthy's system. He's going to need time to get in there and put his own system in there. And I think that's going to take time to work for the Cowboys. I really do. I just don't think they're going to hit the ground running. Now, do I think towards the end of the year they'll be there? Yeah, I do. I think Washington's legit. I think Dallas will be legit by the end of the year. And just think, those games are going to be old NFC East football. I think the Giants are going to be better than what they were. I think really, if you look at it, I think this division could all be over 500. I really, truly do. I really do. I like the Giants. I like their defense. The Giants got a really good defense. I think that defense is going to help them stay in games. They have Russell Wilson. They have Malik Neighbors to throw the ball to. Okay. They have the kid Tracy, the running back. They have him to run the ball. So I think the Giants are not going to be as bad as a lot of people think. Like, a lot of people are picking the Giants to be like 3-14. I don't think they're going to be that bad. I don't think that defense is going to keep them in games. So I think their defense is going to keep them in games. This is where if I'm looking at it, I think the Commanders, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were a year ago. I think Jaden Daniels, like, that sophomore slump is real. He can go look at CJ Stroud. I mean, not to say that they won't get to the playoffs, but that sophomore slump is going to be real because now there's a year of tape on this kid. He's not going to take nobody by storm. He's a good quarterback. And Washington got themselves a really good one. And he's going to be a problem for the Eagles for a decade. No doubt about it. He's going to be a problem for the Eagles. He's going to be a problem for Dallas. He's going to be a problem for the Giants. What I'm saying to you guys is this. Going over this and looking at what these teams have done to come back in. You're talking about Deebo Samuel going down to D.C. What are they going to do with him? I mean, there's a reason why the 49ers traded him. Think about that for a second. If he was worth anything, the 49ers are not letting him go. They would find they were willing to trade Brandon Ayuk to keep Deebo Samuel. So if they got rid of Deebo Samuel, what's that telling you? They don't think he's got what it takes anymore, and he wasn't worth the money to keep him in Frisco. They were trying to trade the other guy. So I don't know. Is this Washington getting damaged goods? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I may eat my words on this. I just don't think Deebo Samuel's going to do anything for him. I do like the running back they have down there. His name's escaping me at the moment, but he's pretty darn good. He's a beast. He can carry people. I think what the Eagles did was smart. They went out and got A.J. Dillon, dude, as an insurance policy for Saquon Barkley, and I think it's awesome. They were able to let Kenny Gainwell go. He went to Pittsburgh. I think he's going to have a good year in Pittsburgh. because he can catch the ball at the backfield. I think he'll have a good year with the Steelers. But Will Shipley can do the same thing. That's why Will Shipley was drafted. So, but I just can't wait. Opening night. I think the Eagles send a message opening night that they're still going to be the team to beat in the NFC East, and I think they are. I have the Eagles winning the division again. I know there hasn't been a repeat winner in over 20 years. Well, guess what? Sometimes things don't go as awry. If the Eagles are healthy, they're winning the division. And I can see them winning the number one overall seed. I'm not a big believer in the 49ers. I don't even think they're the best team in that division. I think the Rams are the best team in that division. And I think the Rams are going to be a really sneaky good team. I think the Rams are going to be the second seed. I think the Rams are the second seed this year. I really, truly do. I do not believe in Detroit. Detroit's going to find out with losing both your coordinators, what's really going to happen there. If anybody thinks that Detroit's going to be right back up near the top, no, buddy. They are going to take a fall. They are going to fall. Losing their offensive and defensive coordinators, the Eagles just went through it this year or 2 years ago when they lost Gannon and Steichen when they both left. So, I mean, looking at this, man, again, I like the fact that we start off with the Cowboys. I don't know what the heck that was, but something just came across my screen. Anyway, I like the fact we open with the Cowboys. And I think, to be honest with you, I think it's going to be a beating on national TV. I don't think the Cowboys keep it close. I can't see how they can. One of their best defensive pass rushers was DeMarcus Lawrence. And I used to joke around with Cowboy fans. I'm like, go show me where DeMarcus Lawrence beat Lane Johnson for a sack. I'm still waiting to see that because he's never beaten Lane Johnson for a sack. But, Dallas has got some good young players. I think, like I said, when it comes to them, I think they're going to mature late. Now, they got a hell of a schedule. They got a hell of a schedule, too. Their schedule's, right behind the Eagles. So, I mean, they got a murderous schedule as well. And I know they got a stretch. They got a hell of a stretch. I think it's around Thanksgiving where they play 4 games in 20 days or something like that. And they're brutal. So I think the whole NFC East has got brutal. I mean, poor Giants. I mean, they come in last place and they got the hardest schedule in the league. Think about that for a second. They got the hardest schedule, but I think everybody in the division goes over 500. I really do. I think the Giants finish up, 9-8. When we had Pudgy Mike on from the Pudge Sports Network up there out of New York, I told him, and he said to me, he goes, well, thank you. He goes, I'll take that, But I do. I just think the Giants will be better. I think the team that's going to take a step back in the division is going to be Washington. I think they take a step back, but I think they get in. I'm not sold on this NFC. I'm really not. Let's go down. Let's go to the NFC South. I'm not sold on. I think the Panthers are up and coming, but the Saints are going to be horrible. Tampa, to me, they're old. They really are. Godwin or Evans gets hurt every year. And I'm a Chris Godwin guy. He went to Penn State. I love Chris Godwin. He always seems to get hurt, and so does Mike Evans. They always seem so. And Atlanta. That's a coin toss to win that. But I think there's only one team getting out of that. And if I'm taking a guess, it's either going to be Atlanta or Tampa. Because Carolina, I don't think is ready yet. I think they're with Bryce Young, he's getting better. I saw a lot of improvement with him. They get some players around them down there. He might be okay. You go to the North. I'm not believing in the Bears. I don't care how much money they spent. I don't believe in them. I really don't. I'm seeing who else? Who else is? Oh, Minnesota. You think JJ McCarthy's going to? No. Sorry, not sorry. I don't see. I watched JJ McCarthy for 4 years play at Michigan. You know, he's a guy that's going to need time to develop, and the guy that took him went. So, and then you go to the West again. I see the 49ers coming back a little bit, but the team that beat in that division, I'm going to be really honest with you. The team that beat in that division is the Rams. I think the Rams are solid. I think they're going to be the second best. Dave Yarnell says, are you seeing a sophomore slump for Daniels in Washington? Yes. Yes, Dave, I do. I think Washington takes a step back, not a far step back, but I think them and Dallas are going to battle for the second spot. I think Dallas is going to start off slow. I don't think they're going to hit the ground running. And Dave, you're a Cowboys fan. Like I would like to know where you stand on this. I just don't see them starting out fast. They got a pretty hard schedule. Even starting off, I mean, they got to come here. Then the following week after that, I think they play the Giants. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think everybody in the division is going to be over 500. I really do. I don't see a team being under 500. I think the Giants, with their defense, is going to keep them in the games. Dallas, I believe, is going to get better as the year goes on. I really do. I've been saying it. I think it's just going to take time for that team to gel. Too many new pieces there. I like what they did with their drafting the other Tyler now coming in. But again, he's got to get his feet wet and get accustomed to going after and playing, playing NFL. You know what I mean? It's a different game than playing in college. So I just feel like, and like I said earlier, Dave, I don't know if you were listening, I said that, even though Schottenheimer was the coordinator there, he was running Mike McCarthy's offense. Now he's running his own offense. It's going to take time for them to learn it and pick it up. With that line being said, Dak's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy. That's the Cowboys' only chance. If Dak Prescott stays healthy, Dak's a good quarterback. I think they'll be okay. But I just think they're going to struggle to start out the gate. Whenever you get a new coach in there, even if they've been there, he's got to get his own system in. So I do see the Cowboys being, I see the Cowboys probably win 10, 11 games. Like, they're not going to lose that much. But I just think the Eagles get them. I think the Eagles get them. And, I think it comes down to it. But I got the Birds winning the division. I think they're the most complete team. And even though we lost a couple of defensive people, like, they've brought in and drafted very well. So I like the Birds to win the division, like I've been saying. But I also think the Cowboys are going to be a lot better than what. Like, I seen people picking the Cowboys to get like 8 wins or like half of that. And I'm like, I think they're around 10, 11. I really do. I think they probably a 10-7 record. But I think, like I said, they got a murder. They got like an Eagles type schedule. Like the whole NFC East has a whole. Been seeing folks brush off the Eagles trading away Johnson like he was a weak link in coverage, but then the show was. No, I don't think that's it, man. I like CJGJ. I really do. But I will say this. He kind of flip-flopped with this whole situation because when he got traded, the very first thing he said was, I knew I was going to get traded. He goes, I knew. He goes, all I asked him to do is, if you're all going to move me to a place where I know I can play for a championship. The reason they moved him was, I don't think him and Fangio got along. And I don't mean his play. I mean, it was something, other, his extracurricular antics, I don't think was going over well in that locker room. So, but he also knew, when you see a guy like Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and, you see the guys that are in that backfield, they know they're going to have. You know what I mean? They're going to have to start paying these guys. And CJGJ came right out and said it. He goes, listen, I'm not angry with them. I know they got to pay those guys. I got my chip. So, I mean, to me, I see that, man. I feel like he kind of talks out of both sides of his mouth. I think he's a little bitter because he's not still here. But for him to sit there and say, "Oh well," if you take a look at it, I'm the reason why they got to Super Bowl twice. No, he wasn't. The reason they got to the Super Bowl twice is because they had a defensive line that could get after the quarterback, which allowed him to do his patrolling. So he says, once they learn Shoddy system, I think they will be fine as the season goes on. Dave, I agree with you. I really agree with you on that. I really do. Like I said, I got the Cowboys at 10-7, and I think they make the playoffs. I think there's 3 teams that come out. I mean, who knows? You guys may bump out. You may bump, Washington out. So I'm making sure of that, man. I think it's going to be a really good, kind of crazy day. Look at this Eagles schedule for just 1 second. Okay. Dallas, Kansas City, the Rams, Tampa. We always get that 4th week in Tampa when it's like 120. Like, why can't they let us go down there in, like, I don't know, December? That'd be great. But anyway, then they have then they got Denver here too. Denver's going to be a sneaky good team too. I think so. I think they're going to be really, really good. You have the at the Giants. That's a short week too to go up the Turnpike and have to play the Giants on a Thursday night game. That's probably going to be a sloppy game. Then they go to Minnesota to play the Vikings, and then they come home and play the Giants the following week. Not too many 1 o'clock games in this schedule for the Birds. As I'm sitting here looking at it, I think the Raiders game, the Giants home game, the Denver home game, and at Tampa, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 17 games. 6 out of 17 games, they got 1 o'clock starts. That's going to be crazy, man. He said, "Don't leave us." I didn't know I was going anywhere, Ryan. He said, "TJ is past his prime, not trading for a guy who proves." I agree with you. I'm not trading nobody. If I can give up a low-level pick, like a 4th or a 5th round pick, I will trade that. I'm not trading. Like, I'm sorry. If they call the phone and say, "Yeah, we want Nolan Smith," if I'm Howie Roseman, I'm going, click. It's just hanging up. You know what I mean? I said, there's no way I'm doing that. Oh, guys. All right, guys, don't forget, Sunday night, 10 o'clock. Make sure you tune in for the final word with that handsome fellow right there. I'm pretty sure he's enjoying his 4th of July tonight. That is the boss, Matty B. He will be on at 10 o'clock as well on Sunday. Thursday night, it is Pat and Steve. That's right, the attacking third. That's right. They will be on covering all MLS and the Union for us here at It's a Wrap Sports. Friday night, it's normally Pat, and it's at 10:30 here on It's a Wrap. It is the Wraparound. That's right. And, of course, Sunday mornings will never be the same. Me, Pat, and Al will be back with you this Sunday as P&M in the AM. We will be on discussing what's going to go next with the Phillies. Are they going to lose this series, or will they be trying to win the series against the Cincinnati Reds? Plus some other stuff coming up. There could be some more Eagles news to go around there. So make sure you tune in for that, guys. I have one more. He says, "Yep, we play Black Friday." Yes, we do. And if you guys do not know, rumor has it they're wearing their all-black jerseys and helmets for that game, for the Black Friday helmet. It's supposed to be a blackout at the link, from what I'm hearing. One more thing, guys, before we go, is we're still talking about this Eagles rumor stuff. There's also a rumor about a former first-round pick from the Browns. That's right. Cleveland Browns are looking like they are in talks to try to trade Craig Newsome. Is the name that they are talking about. He's a cornerback. To me, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I want to mess with the young guys here. I mean, you got Kelly Ringo, who's entering his 3rd or 4th year. No, I think he's entering his 3rd year here. Let him get some snaps. You also have like the Eagles secondary is crazy with young talent. Let these guys work. I don't need somebody else's cast off. If you needed a veteran that bad to play on the other side, then you should have kept Darius Slay for one more year. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm pretty sure Darius Slay probably would have taken a pay cut to be on this team again. And he didn't have a bad year last year. So, and how about that? The Steelers. Huh. Boy, did they really put the Miami Dolphins over their knee? They got Jalen Ramsey. The Steelers got Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, the tight end. Boy, Aaron Rodgers shouldn't have nothing to worry about. He got Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith now. And you got Ramsey across from Darius Slay. Jesus God, man. Pittsburgh's going to be, I don't know how good they're going to be, but I'll tell you what, they might give Baltimore a run for their money because Baltimore's signing everybody too. They just got what's his face, Jair Alexander. So it says, hey Mike, can I get a shout out for Faith softball team 14? All right, let's give a shout out to the Delco Outlaws as they are heading to Nationals in Jackson, New Jersey on July 14th to the 20th. So guys, make sure you shout out there to our Delco Outlaws. And that is Dave's daughter, Faith. So, Faith, good luck to you and those Delco Outlaws. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like tongue-tied. So, no Star Wars. Cooper DeJean is not CB1. CB1 is Quinyon Mitchell. Cooper DeJean is like CB3. He is playing in the slot, so he's not CB1 at all. CB1 is Quinyon Mitchell. Guys, like I said, before we get out of here, just finish up on this Eagles news as well. Be on the lookout for Justin Simmons. Looks like they're saying right before camp, looks like he might be signing with the Birds. So if that's the case, then, you actually have somebody that can step in and kind of take over for what CJGJ did that. So, guys, you guys have a great rest of your life. And yes, Ryan, I am leaving you guys because I am going to bed. This guy is tired. But I thank you all for doing the wraparound tonight. Make sure you guys check us back out, me and Pat, Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. Again, until then, make sure you check out the Fighting Spinal. Pat will have you covered on that, guys. I am Mike Lauro. It's been fun. Thank you so much for sharing your holiday with me. Again, happy 4th of July for the next half hour. Have a good night.